And a welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, a very special edition of Wake Up Call in this Bearcat Breakroom featuring Brian Luciano. And Brian, did I say it right? I'm a fellow Italian. Did I say it right?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you're right.
So Brian Luciano here with us. Of course, I'm Dan Tortora in this edition of the Bearcat Breakroom on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with the Binghamton University Bearcats and, of course, inside of the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. We're here with Brian Luciano, a thrower for Binghamton men's track in the 2024-25 season. Mr. Luciano, how are we doing?
Good. Thanks for having me, Dan.
Absolutely. Happy to have you here. So I want to get right into kind of the beginning of the beginning for you. How did you get involved in track? Like, bring me back to day one of how this started in your career.
Um, so first thing first is I had no idea what track is up until I was in about middle school, at
Okay.
about seventh grade. Um, my brother was a cross country runner and a distance runner, and so I was kind of tagged along to all the meets that my parents wanted to go see because he was so much older.
Yeah.
Um, so I grew up going to meets, and everybody's like, "Yeah, you should try it when you can." So I finally could start with shot put in seventh grade in the modified level, and my brother was kind of my coach, trying to put together because he eventually switched to the throws because he filled out, he put a little muscle on him, and I just started from there and picked up more events as I went through high school and kind of progressed from there.
So, like you said, I mean, watching your brother and, having that age difference, what did that do for, like, are you close with him now?
Yeah, 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 for sure. I talk to him at least on a weekly basis. He's far away. He's in Austin, Texas now. Um, but yeah, he was always kind of my mentor until he went to college for the next year. And then my sister, who was also a thrower, she went to Oneonta. Then she kind of picked up the slack and tried to keep me in shape.
So, what is the Luciano X gene essentially here that y'all are in track? You're all throwers. You've all been successful with it. What's going on with the Luciano family that we got some strength here?
So neither of my parents did track at all.
Okay.
My mother tried hurdling as to what she told me, but she did not like it at all.
Okay.
So
Mhm.
it's kind of funny that we all three of us kind of deviated towards it. Because before track, I was playing basketball, baseball, you know,
Yeah.
the usual sports, but it didn't shine out like track did to me.
And like you said, you were doing these other sports. You were involved in other things. So why did track speak to you in such a big way to the point where it was like, hey, I could be a Division I athlete?
Um, I guess it was more everybody telling me at how good that I could be.
Okay.
Um, like when I was in seventh grade, my brother pulled me into his practice. He's like, "Hey, throw this," and it was a weight, and he's like, "You just threw that farther than most of the high school kids." Uh, so now that in college, that's really all I throw is the weight and the hammer. Um, and I didn't pick it up until freshman year, really, of high school.
So you throw the weight and you throw the hammer. Do you have a preference of one that you throw?
Definitely the hammer.
I would have picked
Yeah.
that too. I mean, I'm sitting here thinking about the hammer. I'm thinking about Thor's hammer, how he throws Mjolnir and it comes back to him. So I mean, being a human being that is, you know, essentially in your own way living in Norse mythology, throwing a hammer. What is that like for you to throw the hammer and to just see that power? I mean, you got to have fun with it. I mean, yeah, you're playing a sport and it's competitive and whatnot, but at the same time, it's got to be. To me, it's got to be like a little kid just having fun, like somebody hits a 3-point shot or somebody kicks a field goal, and you walk up to them and you go, "Yeah, but can you throw a hammer?" You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you have this power, incredible, like human ability to do something. Do you have fun? Are you a big kid? Or do you go out there and just wail that hammer and just kind of smile when you let it go?
I would say definitely for sure. I
Okay.
think that's a big part of being an athlete is that if you're not having fun and you don't have a smile on your face, at least when you're competing, obviously it's a grind during practice and all those. But if you feel like a kid when you're doing it, it just makes it so much easier and so much more enjoyable. Um, so definitely in the competitions, when it feels effortless, um, there's an effortless-esque to throwing at some points,
Yeah.
and when it feels effortless, it just feels like a whole different ball game.
Yeah, and the hammer is like, for people that don't know, you got this like heavy piece on this line that you're letting go of here, and it's just, it is. I mean, it looks it this looks like something that we would see. We talk about both of our names end in vowels. This is like something you'd see at the Colosseum in Italy. Just having this gladiator esque sport. I mean, how cool is that to essentially be out there, competing like a gladiator and taking this thing on a string and just spinning around and releasing it and just letting it fly?
I love it because I relate it to like older times where these events were based on who's the strongest, who's the fastest, and like for me to kind of know that hey, in a sense, I'm kind of stronger than you. I really like that aspect of it.
Yeah, and to have that strength, that inner strength that you have. Some people are afraid to show their strengths. Some people let the world make them think that they're weak. How do you stay physically strong, mentally strong, emotionally, spiritually? There's a lot more than just being physically a strong athlete and a strong person. So how do you stay strong throughout in your life?
So there's definitely been a lot of bumps in the road, and I always knew that it wouldn't be the end.
Okay.
I knew that I had more coming down the road for me, in a sense. And if I had, a bad meet, I wouldn't let it get me down because I know there would be another opportunity. Maybe not in that year, maybe not in that season,
Yeah.
but I can always have the opportunity to shine where I can.
And
Um,
go ahead.
so, and knowing that I can be able to put my head down and work at this and put in the effort, and I know I can do better.
Yeah, and you said there's been bumps in the road. What are some of those bumps that you've had, Brian, that you look back to and you really feel like taught you something? If you have one that sticks out or a couple that stick out.
Um, I would say I have a couple so far in my college career. Um, my freshman year, we had the first meet of the winter season, and we came back, and the same day we had a media day. I sprained my ankle, all four ligaments, and a high ankle sprain, all in one. And that kind of took me out for the rest of the season. I was planning on redshirting the spring season regardless,
Yeah.
but that kind of just demoralized me. Um, Not even in just an athletic standpoint, but from just a life standpoint. I didn't understand like what kind of was my purpose without this thing that I can't do. So I kind of had to soul search and find those things that made me who I am without throwing.
And when you went through that, journey through adversity, through injury, through things you couldn't control, when you said I had to find who I was without throwing, how would you describe Brian Luciano, the person, beyond the sport, beyond being a student athlete?
Um, Beyond a student athlete, I'd say, caring for one another and just wanting to be around great people and being able to spread joy to one another. Um, because that's all I could do.
Yeah.
Beyond the classroom, beyond doing my schoolwork, I was just surrounded by good people, and I just had to embrace those aspects of them.
Going through something like that, when you had those tough moments, when you had those dark moments, what was your light? What got you through it?
Um, you know, Knowing people believed in me. If I wasn't gonna do it, for myself, I should have done it for them. Is really where it started at. And then it's kind of, I just was a very disciplined individual. So I just kept going and going. And I knew I wasn't going to quit. Um, but it always crossed my mind. But I just couldn't ever quit in my mind.
And like you, in these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you. Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes.
All right, you need to come out here and get yourself the Brooklyn Pickle. I was talking about this with one of my buddies. I was like, yo, there's no better sandwich in the state of New York than the Brooklyn Pickle. And now that I found out that they're going down to North Carolina, we are taking over your taste buds everywhere you are, wherever you're going to be. You need to get yourself out to the Brooklyn Pickle. Pinehurst, you just realized that you found yourself the best sandwich shop that you're ever going to have. This is a glorious moment. It's a blessing to your community. You're welcome. Brooklyn in the house, baby. Go over to the Brooklyn Pickle. You already know what it is.
You heard the man. Head to Brooklyn Pickle Pinehurst on 1788 Old Morgantown Road in Southern Pines, North Carolina.
Hi, this is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating at 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday in-store and always online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, order anywhere, anytime at maandpaspopcorn.com. Stop in to get a tin at Ma and Pa's on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York to get your half-price refills for the rest of your life. Come to Ma and Pa's for your holiday gift giving for family, friends, employees, and clients. And remember, for fundraising and events, to call 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
And like you said, I mean, you couldn't quit. You didn't have that quit in you. Where does that come from? Where does like you said, I didn't have the ability to quit. I couldn't quit. I couldn't do it. Why is that in there? Where does that come from? That the QUIT? Because I'm the same way. I don't even like saying the word, that you don't have that in you. Why do you not have that in you?
I wish I knew. I feel like it's just something God has instilled in me that it just doesn't make sense to quit logically. So why would I ever do it?
You mentioned God. I appreciate that. It means the world to me to hear that. And as much as you want to feel comfortable with sharing, why is God a part of your life? Why does God matter to you? Why do you believe?
I really started believing again after my spring semester. I had 2 injuries last year. I had a strained hip flexor and a strained adductor, and that's really when I was thinking about quitting track. That was in the fall semester. I was really thinking about quitting then, and I ended up not. And then I ended up having a great season last year. And then the week before conferences, my whole back spasmed out. And I just expected not to even be able to compete at conferences. Just see, my season would be ending at like an East Regional meet. But I was able to get back to the conference meet. I placed 3rd, which isn't what I was anticipated to do. But I kind of accepted it for what it was because of what I'd been through that year.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I feel so blessed being able to do these things that could be gone in an instant. And so one of my friends, she invited me to go to church one day, And I kind of just was like, I grew up Catholic, but I stopped going after I got confirmed. So I just said, why not go? And it was probably the best decision I've ever made so far.
So you're raised Catholic, you stop going after confirmation, your friend says, let's go to church, you go. You said it's probably the best decision that you've ever made so far. Why?
Being able to reflect in a different manner and to realize that life has its course, and I can maybe change a little thing here and there, but at the end of the day it's not really up to me. So I kind of take it as pieces pieces of life at a time instead of looking back at the whole thing.
Well, Brian, I'm happy you're here. I'm happy you fought through the adversity. I'm happy that you made it to the point that you made it to right now. To somebody that's watching us, that's listening to us, that is like, man, I don't believe in God. I don't believe in anything. My life is terrible. My girlfriend broke up with me. My husband cheated on me. I lost my job. I lost my house. I can't figure out how to get my dreams. Whatever's going on in somebody's life. To someone that's watching and listening right now saying, man, you guys both believe in God, and that's great, but I'm struggling. I'm struggling out here. What would you say to them?
Believe that somebody's always at your side. Because in theory, God is always there, but there's also other people in your life that can always be there for you. I always took only the part of people surrounding me that are kind of in my life, and I never took it as the kind of this other thing that's believing in me, and in theory that thing believing in me is me. You just have to be able to realize that.
So believing in yourself, believing that God is by your side, and that the real ones that believe in you and are there for you and helping you to believe in them too. You got mom and dad, Linda and Joe. What do you want to say to Linda and Joe today?
Thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to be able to be what I am. You guys have always tried your hardest, and I know that. And it's a blessing to have both of you.
Mom and Dad. You're going to make them cry. I know it. So shout out to Linda and shout out to Joe and to your siblings as well. Taking a look at 2022-23, your redshirt season, and then in 2023-24, your redshirt freshman season, competed in 14 meets. Just kind of going to go through some history here for Brian Luciano, our special guest here in this Bearcat Breakroom, with the thrower in Binghamton men's track during the 2024-25 season, as we're here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. Competed in 14 meets last season, finished 29th overall in the Hammer at the NCAA East Region meet. You were named the most outstanding men's rookie after winning the weight throw at the America East Indoor Championships. Congrats. Placed third, you're welcome. Placed third in the Hammer at the America East Outdoor Championships. You earned all conference honors at the America East Indoor and Outdoor Championships. Named the America East Men's Field Athlete of the Week on February 8th last season, so almost a year ago. Third in the weight throw at the ECAC Indoor Championships. You won the weight throw at the Galder Invitational on January 20th, 2024 at Sykes, and so about a year to the conversation that we're having right now. Sykes and Sabic Challenge February 3rd, and the Big Apple Invitational on February 10th. So won the weight throw at all of those, and placed third in the weight throw in the college division of the Milrose Games on February 11th last year. Won the Hammer at the Delaware Invitational on April 6th last year and the Bucknell Team Challenge on April 20th last year, and finished second in the Hammer and the College Division at Penn Relays on April 25th. Sweet mother, man, you had a redshirt season. You went through that injury and that adversity. We talked about it, and then you came in, trusting in God, trusting in yourself, believing in positivity, working hard, getting through it, keeping that positive mindset. And in your freshman season, everything I just read off, I would have been happy if I achieved those things over a 4-year span in spurts. Like you said, you take life in pieces. Well, your freshman season is a heck of a way to start things off. So you responded to adversity by believing in God, having faith in yourself, in God, believing in those around you, trusting in those good messages, trusting in mom and dad, your brother and your sister. You go to church with your friend, and then you go and have that type of season. If you ended your career right after that, Brian, I would consider you one of the best throwers and student athletes that Binghamton's ever had. How in the heck do you come from adversity and strife and frustration and negativity and all of those things and turn it into a season that looks like 4 seasons in one?
Well, I never thought about it like that. It always it came very naturally, but I'm unbelievably grateful for the time that I had. And looking back, I was able to reflect with both my coaches after that whole season, and I was like, yeah, like I wish I did better. I wish I could have done this. I wish I could have done that. And my head coach just goes, "What's wrong with you? Like, you had a phenomenal year.
Yeah.
Comparing to what could have been. You could have been injured the whole year, but you came out and you competed." And when it was kind of put like that in my eyes, I was like, yeah, I'm very, very happy.
And you look back, like you said, that conversation with your coach, the head men's and women's track and field coach, for many, many years. This is his 29th year, so we're talking about year 28 last year when you had this conversation. Almost 3 decades, Mike Thompson's been the head coach of men's and women's track and field at Binghamton University. You had that conversation with Coach Thompson. What can you say about Coach? Let's go back to recruiting. Why did you believe in him? Why did you believe in his message? And you just said, he was like, are you nuts? You had a fantastic season last season. So he's seen something in you very early on here. And it's crazy to believe that you've just gotten started at Binghamton, and I can't wait to see what you're going to do next. But Coach Thompson, thoughts on his positivity, and why did you decide to play for him in the first place?
Well, so Coach Thompson's more of like the head coach, but I have my own throws coach.
Oh, yeah.
Crystal Muse.
True.
So she kind of takes the lead of kind of what I do. But during the recruiting process, at the time I had a private coach at my home, Patty McGrath, and he has his own hammer club, everything. He's trying to just elevate kids, get them into the college game, try and get them degrees. And I was talking about just applying to Binghamton because my mother told me to. And he's like, "Oh, you're gonna apply to Binghamton? I know the throws coach there. Let me give you her number." And so he gave me her number. I reached out, talked a little bit, and nobody really was, giving me any emails back during this recruiting process. It was really only Binghamton.
Yeah.
And I ended up signing with Binghamton November of my senior year. And I was kind of going back with Coach Muse and Coach Thompson, and they both really, really wanted me. And I couldn't be more grateful for how hard they were trying in the recruiting process to get me to go there.
And you talk about Coach Muse, as you said, Crystal Muse, that is working with you very, very much so, very closely as the assistant track and field throws coach. What is it about Coach Muse? I mean, she is in her 11th season currently as an assistant coach with the Binghamton Track and Field program and working primarily with you, with the throwers. Coach Muse, what is it about the way she goes about things, just, her belief in you, her passion for the work that you've done, her passion for the world of track and field in general that kind of speaks to you?
She doesn't try to berate me. She doesn't try to push my drive. She kind of knows who I am, and she wants athletes who have an unbelievable drive, and she kind of wants to hone that in. So there are times where she's kind of like, hey, you need to like relax and chill out. You got some meets coming up. And then there's other times where she's like, you need to get back on the horse and you need to get back at it.
Yeah.
So it's not more controlling the amount I do. It's controlling the moments that I'm with her.
And like you said, she doesn't berate you. She talks you through it. She helps you with it. The teaching style that she has, coupled with the teaching style of Coach Thompson, just what that has done to maybe bring out the best in you at this point.
So like what they've done more so?
Kind of how they've brought you along, like how they teach, how they get their message across, like how that's kind of spoken to you, like you said, the style of how she speaks to you, how does Coach Thompson kind of speak to you, and just overall the coaching staff at Binghamton, why you think their leadership style has helped to bring out the best in you.
Mm-hmm. So I would say Thompson is much more of a motivator and much more of a mentality helper. He kind of, when I'm straying off, he kind of saw that and really like whipped me back into shape.
Yeah.
And Muse is more of the support system and the technical analyzer, and she more understands like what's going on with the throw, and more so how to train me.
Here's a message from Renee from Brian's Landing, located on 6523 East Seneca Turnpike in Jamesville, New York. Open Tuesdays and Wednesdays for dinner, Thursday through Saturday for lunch and dinner, and Sundays for brunch.
It's a lot like the way that my mom and dad ran their restaurant. We have put in place a lot of people that are family to us, very similar to how my dad hired people that were family to him. And then the tradition I'm carrying on is a lot of the items that are on our menu are my dad's. And he taught our chefs how to recreate his dishes. So I think that Tommy McInerney, who our executive chef is, to him it is an art. And I think that when he does create a dish, it's not just about making the food taste delicious, which is definitely our priority, but it's an art to him, and it's almost like his canvas on a plate where he just wants the colors to look great, and people love it because he takes pride in that. And Brian and I appreciate that. We want it to obviously look good and taste good. I will tell you, when we opened up, it was 6 weeks before COVID. And what was amazing was the community, our friends and family stepped up, and everybody did takeout. Everybody supported us. Our hearts were just so filled. So to Brian and I, obviously our friends come all the time, and we just have repeat customers in Jamesville, and I think people going to our previous restaurant in Green Lakes are making the trip to come to Brian's Landing to support us. And I mean, I think we have great food and a great atmosphere. So it's very, very important to us.
Head to Brian's Landing, located on 6523 East Seneca Turnpike in Jamesville, New York, where memories have become recipes that are now meals to share with you. Tuesdays and Wednesdays for dinner, Thursday through Saturday for lunch and dinner, and on Sundays for brunch. And be sure to come out for live music Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Here is a special message from Brian Bruno, owner of Servomation Refreshments Incorporated.
I grew up in the family business, had the experience of working for a national food service company with thousands of employees. And as much as I enjoyed the experience I had, there's something about, owning my own company and being able to change the things I saw wrong with the industry firsthand, which is why I moved back to my hometown in Canastota, New York to launch Servomation. It was back in 2007. When we first started the business in 2007, really you didn't find any machines with credit card readers. There was a lack of variety in machines. You got stuck with basically whatever the vending company wanted to sell that day. There was a lot of inefficiencies in the business, and those were all things that we saw as opportunities, both from a customer level to improve and from an operating level to be more efficient. We've really been at the forefront of introducing retail technology into our space. We were doing self-checkout back in 2009 before it really became a national phenomenon. The whole point of it isn't to just improve the customer experience. It's to make it feel more like a retail environment where people don't have to be afraid of what they're buying behind glass. They don't have to be afraid of not being able to see the ingredients of the packages. It was an easy transaction from that standpoint. If we were to reinvent something, we wanted to make sure what we were making looked and felt more like a deli and not like something that you would traditionally see in a vending machine. I was tired of hearing for years the customers say the wheel of death because the vending machine would circle around with the same tuna salad in it. What we wanted to do was it really change the perception of that food. So allowing customers to touch it, allowing customers to feel the weight of it, allow customers to see the freshness of it, and also the variety of it really helps them change the perception and ultimately the value of what we bring to them. The point of differentiation you have to make is either in value or the quality. And I think on both of those fronts, Servomation has really, in large part, changed that value system for employees. So they no longer have to worry about bringing their food from home or having to leave their desk during the day and rush out to get back in time for their break to end. We're bringing something that they can count on in their break room every day, and they know it's going to be there, they know it's going to be fresh, and they don't have to worry about it being sold out or something that they don't enjoy. We've also heavily invested in flavored water machines, so you can get a glass of water with a fresh piece of fruit in it, along with bean to cup coffee machines. So there's not a day that goes by we're not surprised when we get customers that call us and say, we didn't know you could do all this. We're really lucky to have a strong group of dedicated employees. Most of our employees have been with us since inception. They're family to us, and people like doing business with people they like and trust. And I think the same thing goes for employees. And in a day and an age where there's a lot of corporations that just look at an employee as a number and don't get to know them, that's just not the way I was raised or how I like to do business. So we're a little old-fashioned. We like getting close to our employees. We like knowing how we can help them. We like knowing how we can improve their lives, adjust their schedules, whatever it may be to help improve their quality of life. And we think in the end that makes for a happier employee. We're fortunate enough to have really grown over the last several years, and from Pennsylvania to Massachusetts to Connecticut, we really do have a strong connection, even though we're not in the rooms every day with these employees. There's not one single employee that we feel like we don't know, and certainly we know they can call us at any time, and they're definitely treated as family to us. I wake up every single day really excited to surprise our customers in a good way. The one thing I can tell you is I think that every one of our employees and every one of our customers will continue to be the forefront of every decision we make.
Find out how Servomation can help you and your business by going to servomation.com. And for you coming to Binghamton University, if you had a chance to decide all over again, do you think you'd be a Bearcat again?
I think so. Not so much of everything that's happened here, but all of the signs that I should have went here were so right.
And what were those signs for you?
Between how good the school is and my mother nagging me to go here, I think it was pretty much a done deal from there.
Calls it a sign when it's really just mom just writing over a sign. She's like, no, that's what it says, honey. It's not a stop sign. And just like, don't worry about it. Mom scratched it all out. She's like, it's like you go to the stop sign at the end of your street and it says go to Binghamton. There's no stop sign. It just says go to Binghamton.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're from Yorktown Heights, New York. Bring me into Yorktown Heights what home life is like, what the community's like, how you would describe it.
Um, so it's more of a rural place. I went to Somers High School, but I live it. Um, and it's a great place to grow up in because there's, at least for me, there was always a reason for me to be around. You know, I could meet new people, I could talk to old people, like there's just a wide variety, and be loving and very caring.
You talked about the people being very loving and caring in Yorktown Heights and being there for you. If you could go home right now in this moment and just hang out for a minute, where would you go? What would you do if you're back at home?
Probably go to some friends' houses
Okay.
because their parents were always so very welcoming, and they almost treated you like you were their son.
Of any place that he could pick, picks his friends' houses because parents treat him like you're their kid as well. That's how my parents, my mom, my goodness, my mom was everybody's mom, so still is. So Brian Luciano here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. I want to get into this 2024-25 campaign. Looking at your finishes here, absolutely incredible. Redshirt sophomore season for you. You won the men's weight throw with the 21st, and that's my favorite number, so good stuff here. 21st best distance in the nation. So we're talking about being at the Cornell Upstate Challenge. You won the men's weight throw there, and it is the 21st best distance in the nation currently, and that's just been absolutely incredible. That was at Barton Hall this past weekend, and your distance of 69 6 3/4 broke your own school record of 67 10.5, which you set last season when you won the event at the America East Indoor Championship. The distance marks your highest national ranking in an event during your collegiate career, and you've now won the weight throw in both meets Binghamton has taken part in this indoor season. So you've won both weight throws to start off the season. 21st in the nation is your best ever. You beat your own record. So we talked about 2023-24, and you started off 24-25, besting yourself. Congratulations. 21st in the nation. Hello. And doing pretty well here in these first couple indoor opportunities. So thoughts on this season?
It's just the beginning. It was a great fall semester, being as healthy as I could be, and I didn't get that last year, and it really, really shows how much of a difference preseason training makes.
Absolutely.
So I'm unbelievably excited to go forth with this year.
Yeah, a lot of great stuff going on here and coming up that we have next on January 25th on a Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, the Gildan Invitational, which is hosted by Buck Nell, and then it's on to University Park, PA for Penn State and the National Open, and a lot of great stuff coming up here in the Sykes and Sabick Challenge, which you did very well in last season. You got a chance at that at Penn State coming up this season here. So before we hop out of here, Brian's going to help me with some rapid fire. We can ask each other questions about anything, any topic. There's no preparation. You get to ask me the first question, Brian. Could be about anything in the world. Go ahead.
How did your belief in God start?
Good question. Started from probably before birth, and just having a relationship with him up in heaven, and it's always been with me. It's the one thing that I've known my whole life. It's the only thing I've been able to lean on consistently. It's It was a part of my childhood. My parents and my grandparents talked to me about God. They brought me to church. I was in Catholic school. I was in Catholic pre-K, Catholic grammar school, Catholic junior high, high school. I chose to go to a Catholic college and Catholic university, I should say, and in Marywood University. So, I mean, to me, it's always been a part of my upbringing, but God's always, we've just kind of known each other. You know, you said there's things you can't describe. Him and I have just kind of known each other. And I can honestly say that before I was born and before I had my first memory, that he was just like, hey, go out there and get him. And I'm like, okay, I trust you. So we've been together through everything. And I can't thank him enough. I mean, my life is beyond my wildest dreams. And yet I feel like I'm just getting started. I literally, and I'm not kidding with you, Brian, when I go to sleep and I dream, my dreams don't hold a candle to what I wake up to. And I pray that everybody lives a life that's better than their dreams, because a lot of people can't wait to go to sleep to get away from reality, to dream about something cool. I live the cool stuff. I dream about weird stuff. I just have like the weirdest dreams in the world, but I have such a beautiful life. And so my faith started in the beginning, before the beginning, and it's been with me ever since. And if I know anything, it's that God exists. God is real. God is with you. And if you hate God, he loves you. And if you love God, he loves you. And I would just implore people to give God a chance, because once you do, you're never going to look back. And life is, I don't know how people do life without him, because life can be hard at times. And I don't know who to thank more, and I don't know who to lean on more, and I don't know who to respect more, to love more, to thank, to appreciate. So, I mean, to me, it starts with God, it ends with God. I can always be better. I strive to be better, and he's always been better than the best. So the answer is he's always been there, so why not believe in him? My question back to you, if you could say anything to God right now, he's sitting in front of you. He's right there. You could touch him. What would you say?
Thank you. Thank you for what you've been able to give me. And thank you for being able to, for choosing the path for me that I'm falling in love with.
Avicolli's, located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, has been your trusted neighbor for decades. Located just steps from Liverpool High School, we're happy to have the Liverpool Warriors on-site, on-location broadcast at Avicolli's through Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every single month, featuring student athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the year from Liverpool High School. Head out to Avicolli's today on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. We'd love to see you out there. And of course, you can call them at 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. That's 315-622-5100. And also find them on myavicollis.com. That's myavicollis.com. Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Campground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Campground and where your dog will be staying, in the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Campground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9 K9campground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and campground spelled with a K.com. K9campground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to K9 Campground.
Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant.
GG Cards and Breaks. Like, comment, subscribe.
GG Cards and Breaks, coming to you on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York, is your one-stop sports card and trading card shop. If you've collected before, it is the perfect place to continue your collection. And if you're just starting out, it is the place that is good for any beginner coming into the world of sports and trading cards, thanks to the awesome staff, the knowledge, the wisdom, and the care that goes into everything that starts with Josh and Anthony and trickles throughout the entire team at GG Cards and Breaks, 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York, open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 to 6, and on Sundays from 10 to 5. Head in there today. Let them know that DT sent you for hockey, basketball, baseball, football, soccer, Disney Lorcana, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, while supplies last, with single cards, graded cards, autograph cards, numbered cards, RPAs, which stands for Rookie Patch Auto, as well as packs and boxes to buy to try your luck and see what you can get to bring home today into your collection and to find something great for someone you care about at GG Cards and Breaks, 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York. The Lemoyne College Dolphins are exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Find your Dolphins every single Wednesday during Dolphin Time, weekly on Wake Up Call, Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, worldwide, with student athletes, coaches, administration, future Dolphins, and alumni joining Wake Up Call throughout the years to tell their stories and their connection to the greater Finn family. You can find all of our content with Lemoyne by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, and find our Lemoyne playlist. You can also find the Dolphins on wakeupcalldt.com's homepage and underneath the exclusive partners tab. For more information, go to LemoyneDolphins.com and fins up. Brian and Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse are exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Find your Bobcats in what we call the Bobcat Buzz every single month, centering on their awesome sports programs, their student athletes, their coaches, their administration. A lot of wonderful things going on at Brian and Stratton College of Syracuse on 2 campuses, one right outside of the city of Syracuse, New York, if you go up the hill on James Street, as well as right there across from Avicolli's off of Route 57 in Liverpool. You can find all of our content with the Bobcats by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, and find the BSC Syracuse playlist. You also find the Bobcats on wakeupcalldt.com's homepage and underneath the exclusive partners tab. For more information, go to syracuse.bscbobcats.com and go Bobcats. The Binghamton University Bearcats are exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Find your Bearcats every Tuesday during Bearcat Time. Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Time worldwide. You can get your student athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the years telling their stories and what we like to call Bearcat Time. The Binghamton University Bearcats with us Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And, of course, you can find all of our content by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, and find our Binghamton playlist. You can also find the Bearcats on wakeupcalldt.com's homepage and underneath the exclusive partners tab. For more information, go to binghamtonbearcats.com and go Bearcats. Brian, you made my day today. What's your next question for me?
What makes you fall in love with sports?
Man, it's always been in me. You know, I played basketball from 7, picked up my first basketball at 3, had a blow-up basketball and a blow-up hoop in a little mini pool when I was a kid. And I just love it, man. I love it. If I got a piece of paper, I'm trying to make it in the basket. If there's a basketball hoop in the water, I'm trying to shoot and make it into a moving target. If there's if I'm in a gym, I'm looking for a basketball still to this day. So, I mean, sports has always been a part of my life. I like the challenge. I like the team. I like the bonding. I like the connection. I love the stories. I love telling people stories. I love walking up to somebody and having them turn and I get the mic and I ask a question and they hear my voice and they smile. I got to do that with Riley Leonard here at the College Football Playoff National Championship. I mean, Riley and I have known each other for years, and we knew each other in his recruitment out of Alabama, where he was playing high school ball, and he was choosing between Duke and Syracuse, and we spoke all those years ago, and then I come to Media Day at the College Football Playoff National Championship in Atlanta, and we had never met in person, but we've been friends. I consider him a friend. And he turned, and I said, "Riley, I've been with you." And he goes, "What's up?" And he's like, "Yes, sir." And so he was just, I mean, like, it was like 2 little kids just like going, "Oh my God, you're here! Oh my, you're here!" And that was fun for me, man. Like, that to me is the championship. Before the game, with the game, doesn't even matter. And so, yeah, I mean, why do I love sports? I love people. I love bringing people together. I love that sports does that. I love that sports is news that can be really positive and take you away from the craziness of the world. I see God in it all the time. I hear about God in it. And, you know, my mom said something to me. She goes, in a world that's like turned away from God, she said, of all places you could have picked, God puts you in the sports world, and sports has God all around you all the time. So she's like, you know, you definitely are in a place where it's like, as crazy as the world is, like, you feel safe and welcome. And yeah, so I mean, I love sports. I love people. I love collecting sports cards, and I just love telling people stories. I love, and I treat it the same. If I was talking to a 4-year-old, or talking to you, or talking to a Super Bowl champion, or talking to a World Series champion, or talking to a coach of 40 years, I treat you all the same. I sit in that chair and I thank God, and I am like so excited to just learn about your life. I love people, and I love getting to know people, and I just love being around good-hearted people that are passionate. And I don't ever work, man. I mean, my body knows I'm tired, my brain knows I'm tired, my heart at times, knows like, wow, we've been through a lot. But I wake up every single morning, whether I slept for an hour and a half, 4 hours, 8 hours, it doesn't matter. I love sitting in the chair, man. To be the guy that gets to sit in the chair and put on the microphone, man. God gave me something inside of me where you put me in an arena with 1 million people, and I have absolutely no fear. I know I'm going to make you laugh. I know we're going to have fun. I know we're going to praise Jesus. I know that we're going to smile. I'm going to reach your heart. You're going to reach my heart. And, man, God makes me feel like I'm living on this planet by myself, because he's just like, he just put something inside of me, put a little candle in there to just do it. And everybody's tried to blow that candle out. No one's done it. So I just, man, I love it because why wouldn't I? I get to have fun every day. I am 39 years old, running around like a 5-year-old. And he gives me the energy, man. He gives me the energy. He gives me the focus. He gives me everything. He gives me the questions. I don't write stuff. I got nothing written down in here. So, I'm just grateful to God for giving me everything he's given me, and to, like you said, to echo you, to fall in love with the path that he's chosen for me. So my question back to you, Brian, I am starving in the studio, so I'm so hungry right now. I want to know if you had a meal that you had to eat every day for the rest of your life, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Now, they can all be different, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So there's 3 meals, but you have to eat them every single day forever. Because I love food, I love to cook, I love to create. I come from a long line of Hispanic, Italian cooks that are tremendous. So what are you making? What are you having for breakfast? What are you having for lunch? What are you having for dinner if you have to do it for the rest of your life?
So for breakfast, I'm having some eggs, some bacon, some yogurt with fruit and honey.
Okay.
And I want to save my appetite for the other 2 meals. Lunch. Lunch is just a sandwich and a bag of chips from a local home deli.
Okay.
Whether that be like an Italian combo, maybe a bacon, egg, and cheese, or like a chicken parm sub. I feel like you can't beat that lunch.
No.
And then dinner, that's the tricky one. Because there's so many options. So many options.
Yeah.
I'll probably have like some steak and salmon.
Okay.
Probably a little bit of both.
Okay.
With some avocado on the side.
Okay.
With some rice and Brussels sprouts. Some Brussels sprouts too.
Oh my goodness. I shouldn't have asked that question. No, I'm sorry. So I love it. I love the honey. I love the salmon, the steak. Love the sandwich. And from where you're from, it's bacon, egg, and cheese. It's one word. So I could appreciate the egg everything bagel with a good bacon, egg, and cheese. So We do a thing on the show called the Ingredients to Success. You get to bring me into it, Brian. This is the final piece of today's broadcast on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. Ingredients to Success brought to you proudly by Avicolli's down the road from Liverpool High School. You can see the high school from Avicolli's on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road. They're on 7839 Oswego Road in Liverpool, New York. And the Ingredients to Success, I'm going to hand it over to you, Mr. Luciano. If you had to give people the ingredients, in your opinion, to a successful life, what would you say?
First ingredient has to be hard work. Because without working hard and without the wanting to put in effort into something, you can't get anywhere.
Agreed.
The next ingredient would be a support system, whether that's yourself, your parents, your siblings, or your friends. It always needs to stem somewhere for your reason why. And for my last ingredient, it would probably be discipline, because if you don't hold yourself to those standards of wanting to put in that hard work, because you can put in hard work one day and then not do anything the next, and that's not what it's about. It's about consistency. So I would say discipline and consistency go hand in hand, whatever you want to call it, but you need one or the other. You need discipline or consistency.
Discipline, consistency sounds like responsibility to me as well in all of this, and to have a good support system and to have the hard work ethic. Ingredients to Success coming to you from Brian Luciano here in this edition of the Ingredients to Success, proudly presented by Avicolli's on 7839 Oswego Road in Liverpool, New York. Head there 7 days a week for lunch and dinner, and of course you can get in touch with them at myavicollis.com, myavicollis.com, and of course you can call them for takeout, delivery, and catering at 315-622-5100. That's 315-622-5100. Thanks to Avicolli's, and thanks to our Bearcat Breakroom guest, Brian Luciano, here in our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with the Binghamton University Bearcats, telling a story of a fantastic young man here in our society. A thrower for Binghamton men's track. Make sure that you support the Binghamton Bearcats men's and women's track this season and every season, and of course Binghamton University as a whole. And many thanks from the Great Lakes Honda City Studios here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Brian, it has been my absolute privilege. Thank you for being a part of today's show.
Thank you for inviting me, Dan. It was wonderful.